Welcome, friends, to my Smart Connector podcast, or welcome back if you've been here before. Today, we're going to look at how to deliver a killer elevator pitch that makes people hungry for and excited to buy what you do. When an elevator pitch is delivered like a telesales script without passion or excitement and sounding overly salesy, it's an immediate turnoff for a prospect who may be looking for services like yours. Perhaps you've heard these: no spontaneity, a little bit cringy, ends with an overt call to action or a buy now type of a message. Networking meetings like BNI are full of them. So, in this episode, we're going to look at how to create an elevator pitch the right way to engage with the hearts and minds of your dream buyers and get them flocking to do business with you. But first, you may be wondering, why should you listen to me? I'm Jane Baylor, the Smart Connector, with over 2 decades of media and entertainment experience managing advertising and brand marketing agencies and working on major accounts for global market leaders such as Discovery Networks, Coca-Cola, British Airways, and ITV. I haven't just talked the talk, I've also walked the walk as an entrepreneur, having also scaled and sold a 6 million turnover brand identity business to US communications group Interpublic, quadrupling profits along the way. Now, how we achieved this was through repositioning our own offer and 10xing the value of our deals. And yes, this wasn't easy, but what wasn't so hard was making the decisions that led to this outcome. So I'm well versed in consultative selling to sophisticated buyers. In fact, I've sold consultancy and agency services that are well into six figures, and two of our deals had a value of £1 million each. So if you're looking to land more and higher value clients, you're in the right place. So, the key to a successful elevator pitch is to never ever sell. And this is because you're at an early stage in the relationship. There will be some openness and curiosity to begin with, but as an expert in your field, you have to earn the right to sell. All you're looking to do in the first instance is get the right people's attention, stimulate interest, and give them the opportunity to take the conversation to the next level. If your goal is to attract high value clients, it's so important to be perceived as a high status buyer, not a seller. And here's the difference. A buyer never ever sells. A buyer decides who they work with, rejects underqualified prospects, and gets chased by people who want to work with them. A seller, on the other hand, has to spend a lot of energy trying to convince people to work with them. They often end up discounting their terms or prices or taking on clients they probably shouldn't. Now, chasing clients for business does, of course, get you clients, but they're rarely the ones who will pay you at the premium level you'd like, because people really like to buy, but they hate being sold to. So that's why selling in a pushy or spammy way leads to price resistance and a decreased perception of value. When you communicate your value well, you won't have to try hard to sell. In fact, the more low key and lean back you can be, the more your prospects will respond positively to your message. So remember, the purpose of an elevator pitch is to summarize your offer. And in this respect, it's important to remember that having an offer that is not sufficiently clear and dialed in is the number one reason sector experts like you will struggle to grow your business. If you can't describe what you do in an exciting and different way, if you're not crystal clear about who you serve, and if you can't immediately pinpoint the exact problem you solve in a way that stops your prospects from putting you and your valuable service into a box because you remind them of others who offer something similar to you, your business won't reach its true potential and your investment of time and resource will underperform. And that's the problem that I love to solve for my own clients. So make sure you follow and subscribe to my podcast to learn more about how to put together offers that work, and reach out and request a call with myself or my team if you'd like to speak to us in person. So before we get into how to formulate your insanely effective elevator pitch, let's look at the 5 common mistakes most service-based experts make when it comes to putting their pitch together. The first mistake is lack of clarity. When an elevator pitch is too vague or imprecise, it fails to communicate your value. For example, saying something like, "Our company provides innovative solutions that revolutionize the market," lacks specificity. Generic or basic statements are frustrating because they raise more questions than they answer, and they leave the recipient confused about what you actually do. And because trust is never a given in the early stage of any relationship, When people are confused, they will also be inclined to think you have something to hide, and then they can draw the conclusion that the claims that you're making lack substance. And that's why specificity really matters. Also, vague or generic statements won't differentiate your product or service. For example, if you say something like, "We provide top quality customer service and have a strong commitment to excellence," you're not conveying your unique selling points or the reason why someone should be interested in you over others who make similar claims. The second mistake that people make with elevator pitches is overwhelming their audience with detail. Some people will just cram too much information into their elevator pitch, making it really difficult for the listener to grasp the main points. For example, were you to say, "We offer a patented technology with cutting edge features, a large team of experts, multiple revenue streams, and a global customer base." Well, this is really too much information for most people to process in one go. Keep it simple and your pitch will be memorable. Overcomplicate and you'll get relegated to the also ran bin in favor of those who communicate more simply and clearly than you. Also, never ever use jargon. Jargon is insider words and phrases that doesn't make sense to people outside a specific industry or group, and this creates a barrier to effective communication. People from different fields or backgrounds may struggle to understand the intended message, which leads to confusion or misinterpretation. Now, the third mistake people make is a lack of relevance. An elevator pitch needs to resonate with your listener by showing how you address their specific problem or needs. And if you don't do this, you'll create a disconnect. And this can be an issue at virtual or face to face networking meetings where you may be introduced to people who are the wrong fit for your product or service. Remember, especially when you're meeting someone for the first time, it's far better for your elevator pitch to just communicate what you do and who you do it for rather than overly selling to people who may be a bad fit for your service. So when you sell in this random, irrelevant way, it's like spam, and you run the risk of people taking a dislike to you because your lack of curiosity and assumption that they're willing to receive your sales message, even if it's irrelevant to them, actually shows a lack of respect. On the other hand, when you use an elevator pitch to simply explain what you do, you're respecting their decision to take it further with you, or maybe refer you to others who may have the need for your services, even if they don't. The fourth mistake people make when it comes to an elevator pitch is not delivering it with enthusiasm. Passion and an enthusiastic delivery are so important. Energy is contagious, and when you lack energy or passion, you'll fail to inspire. So always consider your body language, tone of voice, and facial expression, and smile because you want people to understand that you love what you do. The fifth mistake when it comes to elevator pitch is communicating without certainty. You really do have to demonstrate an unshakable, rock solid confidence in yourself and what you do. And when you express this in a really powerful way, you're showing that you believe in what you do. And the first requirement of anybody investing in you is that you back and believe in yourself with total authority and conviction. Now, here's the thing, I'm sure you are amazing and you deserve a predictable stream of AAA clients who appreciate you, can afford you, and who take action to hire you promptly. And having a strong elevator pitch will take you so much closer to acquiring them. So, the first and most basic rule of a successful elevator pitch is to demonstrate how well you understand your client's number one problem rather than just appealing to their dreams. Because any individual or business with a problem needs to understand it at the deepest level before they can engage with the solution. The chances are they've been experiencing that problem for a while and they're not sure how to solve it. They haven't been able to find the answer by themselves, and that's why they're listening to you. When your prospects think that you understand their number one problem better than others they're also talking to, they'll naturally believe that you're the best person to help them resolve their pain or challenge. And when they truly believe this, they'll want to pay you what you're worth and engage with you at the highest level they can. Okay, so now I'm going to help you put together two powerful forms of elevator pitch. So make sure you shut down the distractions. If you're listening at home, grab a pen or paper, an iPad, laptop, or phone so that you can make some notes and really focus on the value I'm going to create for you. Okay, so here's the format to follow. So it starts off with I help. And then you define who your ideal clients are with as much specificity as possible. 2 is the next thing. And then you discuss the outcome or the golden result they're going to get from engaging with you or your services. Without. Now, this is where you talk about the pain that they're trying to avoid, and that's the ultimate impact of their efforts. Even if, and this is what they've done to talk themselves out of what they want, but they haven't yet managed to achieve. So let's look at my example to make this concrete and tangible. So here's my example. I help experts who are not expert marketers to explode their growth and attract the top 5% of their industry's best prospects without networking, hunting for referrals, or spending hours daily on social media. So they can generate more profit, impact, and time, even if they've lost money to others who promised them the world but didn't deliver. Okay, so let's go through the psychological reasoning behind each of these phrases. So the I help statement immediately calls out your dream buyer persona or your ideal avatar. So mine, experts who are not expert marketers, immediately calls out those who have a deep sector expertise and who work within a specific industry vertical. Now, a vertical market can be thought of as a slice of the overall market that is specialized in industry specific, for example, healthcare, finance, manufacturing, real estate, automotive, education, hospitality, or retail. Whereas a horizontal market is a broader approach focusing on a product, service, or solution that can be applied across multiple industries, for example, software development, IT services, or marketing. The second part of the elevator pitch addresses the big transformation, or what I call the golden outcome, which is the impact of your client's engagement with you. So I say explode their growth and attract the top 5% of their industry's best prospects because there is specificity in that statement. And remember, specificity is always helpful as it makes your outcome more precise and adds an extra layer of certainty to it. The third part of the elevator pitch, the so that statement, is the ultimate impact of your transformation or golden outcome. It's said, for example, in coaching that there are really only three niches: health, wealth, and relationship. And because mine is a brand marketing and business growth program, a big reason why my clients come to me is for help and support to grow their business and their profit. In other words, bottom line revenue, which comes as a result of attracting the right caliber of clients through the right message and go to market presence. However, there are other reasons why that underpin this objective. My clients want to increase their impact because there is nothing more frustrating than having valuable wisdom and knowledge to offer, but being overlooked in favor of your rivals because you're not communicating this value in an impactful way, which is why I use the word impact. The other word I use, which is time, is also really critical to my target audience because they're usually working in their business as the key figurehead. And what this means is that they are often working very hard. More time means the opportunity to work on their business rather than in it. And when you can work on your business, you ignite growth, providing you do it in the right way and you are guided by experts like myself. So the words profit, freedom, and time are key trigger words, and they are linked to the emotion of desire, which is also linked to an awareness of lack, both of which are powerful drivers of action. The fourth statement, even if, refers to what they've tried in the past but failed to achieve. So in my case, many of my clients will have invested in other programs or services that have underperformed and not delivered a positive return on investment. So I like to raise this early because this also gives them the opportunity to ask about return on investment. And in my case, I have proven examples of clients tracking this and achieving as much as a 26 times return on the purchase of my program. Now you can turn this into something even simpler, which is the casual throwaway version that I call the party pitch. So imagine you're in the corner at a party, just pouring yourself a drink and munching on some snacks, and someone comes up to you and says, "Oh, hey, I'm Bill," or something like that. "What is it that you do?" Now, you're not going to deliver them the formal pitch, are you? Because it's going to sound rather strange and stilted and inappropriate for the environment that you're in. But you'll still need to be ready with a short, memorable, and punchy intro to your services, as you never know where your next client might be coming from. So it goes something like this. And then you say what the problem is. Well, what we do is Then you state the solution. In fact, then you give them some proof. So here's an example of mine. You know how businesses sometimes struggle for cash flow? Well, what we do is help them attract more of the right clients so they can make more money, work less hours, and use their time in a better way. In fact, the strategies we use have already generated success for thousands of business owners around the world, which is why they choose to invest with us. As you can see, this is really simplifying the message for an audience that are casually curious. There may be many times when people ask you what you do, anyone from a family member to someone you meet walking the dog, and you never know who these people might be connected to. So it really is a good idea to be prepared with a simple statement that makes sense to a layperson. In other words, someone who is not your industry insider and who may not even understand business at all. Many studies have shown that the simplest forms of expression are always the best. When you simplify your message and use simple words over complex ones, you'll find it easier to grab your ideal audience's attention and keep it focused on you. So, thanks for listening to this podcast right until the very end. And make sure you take the time to practice and refine the two forms of elevator pitch we've given you frameworks for. Remember to like, rate, and subscribe to the Smart Connector podcast for more tips on how to succeed as an entrepreneur. Why not let us know if you've enjoyed this episode and give us ideas for some future topics that you might like us to cover? Look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.